The Ministry of Education preparing for the opening of the new school term. A local activist calling for stiffer traffic-related laws. And 2 Grand Bahama professionals getting a special award.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all, I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Ministry of Education happy to report tonight that all government schools on Grand Bahama are ready to reopen on Monday. But the district superintendent notes that they are having some challenges at 2 primary schools. Tonight he shares how they plan to move forward.
We in the Department of Education are proud to know that all our schools will be ready to open come Monday morning.
District Superintendent of Education for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Ivan Butler, says that despite some hiccups with 2 schools, they are all set and ready to welcome students back to the classrooms come Monday. Of the 2 schools, Martintown Primary is experiencing a challenge with its bathrooms. Nonetheless, he says this issue does not pose any sanitary risks and school will commence as planned on September 3rd.
Concern at Martintown is that school is an aging school, and we had plumbing problems such as cast iron pipes that were broken in the wall, and so they had to cut into the wall and remove those pipes, and that work is ongoing, and we are confident that those bathrooms will be up and ready within the next 2 weeks.
He adds that Walter Parker Primary School has some structural deficiencies that are currently being addressed, but the necessary accommodations have been made to ensure that all students are placed in a classroom. Butler notes that should there be a need, they also have a backup plan to relocate student classes.
We are reinforcing the upper floor at Walter Parker School, so that is the structural work that's being done now, and we are confident that we will have some classes ready for Monday, and the remainder of classes will be ready for within the next 2 weeks. Plans were made to accommodate the students, all students at Walter Parker. We've also made provision, and we are thankful for Pastor Clark and the Seventh-day Adventist School. They have rendered assistance, if we need it, to accommodate our students at the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is just across the way from the Walter Parker School.
The district superintendent is assuring parents that safety is priority.
Repairs are ongoing. That area will be cordoned off, and students won't have access to it. Students nor staff would have access to it, and work will be in the afternoon sessions. We don't want anyone to be unsafe.
He says while Walter Parker Primary School will close at 2 p.m. every day until the renovations are complete, all other schools will start and end at normal hours. Shashina Rolf-Arkeson, ZNS Network News.
Now to our Back to School series. This term will be extra special for the Beacon School as officials plan to add some additional courses to the curriculum. Italia Hall fills us in.
Principal of the Beacon School, T.T. Mackenzie Moss, says they are prepared and ready to go for the 2018-2019 school year. She says this year the school will focus on trade and vocation.
We are teaching all of our kids from our babies, 5-year-olds, straight to our ones who are 18, a trade of a skill. We're going to make sure that they are ready to go into society and make a valuable contribution to the Bahamas.
The entire campus now has Wi-Fi for students and teachers to utilize.
All of our classrooms do have desktop computers. We have a 21st state-of-the-art resource room that have the Promethean boards. We have tablets, we have laptops, we have everything that our kids need in order to use technology. We also have a classroom this year that everybody in the class will have their own laptop, because they are doing the office procedures and the clerical work. And the laptops were donated by the Pilot Club of Lucayo and also Blue Skies Over Autism. Technology is so important because with our children, there are a few special services that they really don't get in the school, like the occupational therapist, the speech therapist, and the physiotherapist. But we are working along with some persons who are in New Providence, and we'll be communicating with them through technology to give our kids the assistance that they need.
This summer, students had an opportunity to spend a few weeks with an occupational therapist out of New Providence. Well, Ma says students will be able to have that opportunity again.
Ms. Robbins will be in on Monday and Tuesday of this week actually to train all of our teachers with some of the skills for occupational therapists, and we'll work along with her through the entire year. We'll also work along with Ms. Carla Gibson, who is a behavioral therapist, and she'll be assisting us with making sure that our kids do have the right behaviors and how to help our kids who are having some behavioral issues.
The school will reopen here at the Beacon School on Monday, September 3rd at 9 a.m., but due to the training with the occupational therapist, school will be dismissed at 12 noon on Monday and Tuesday. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
A local activist on a crusade for stiffer penalties for persons involved in traffic accidents. After losing a son in a hit-and-run accident a month ago, he is also demanding answers from hospital officials. Italia Hall has that story.
The father of Trey Garvey, well-known activist Troy Garvey, says from the time he identified his son on July 17th, he was involved with the investigation. He claims that he was assured by the Commissioner of Police that the matter is an ongoing investigation. Garvey says after receiving the report from police, he learned that his son succumbed to his injuries on the scene.
Now, being involved with the community and things I did in this community and knowing some of the law, the ambulance was not supposed to move that body if he was already succumbed to his injuries on the scene. Why did the ambulance move it? This is questions we need to find out from the hospital. How could they allow the ambulance driver on the scene to remove a dead body?
He says a hearse usually takes a body when the person dies on the scene, and to add insult to injury, he says when he went to the Rand Memorial Hospital to collect his son's property, he was told that they were discarded.
Now, I'm going to say this because I'm angry. I am upset, and it hurts because who gave them the permission to discard our son's property? I don't care how soiled it was. The fact of the matter, that was our decision, not the hospital decision. It's an ongoing investigation. So how could you discard my son's property? What was in that you didn't want us to see? Was it something? We have to ask the questions. Why did you discard that without even contacting us? Did you let the police know you was going to discard the property? Which ongoing investigation going on?
He says his son's property included a chain and a pair of shoes with sentimental value. His wife, Charlene Garvey, admits that they did reach out to the hospital administrator, who explained the procedures which they do not agree with.
For sentimental reasons is why we need them. You don't have anything of the scene of him. And the chain, the sentimental value in his clothing.
The activist has started an online petition, all in an effort to have several laws amended in the country. That petition has captured the attention of many.
Our laws only carry killing in the course of dangerous driving, which only carries, if found guilty, a maximum of 3 to 4 years. Now, that is unacceptable, so we're moving forward to try to fight for vehicular manslaughter, vehicular homicide to be added to the books, along with some insurance sovereign fund for the government of the country to put in place that if the insurance, the car insurance don't cover for the accident, at least we can have an opportunity to bury somebody. I thought national insurance could have buried your son or your child. No, you got to have contributions. And there was no assistance for us from them. And these are the things we're going to fight for.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Now we spoke with officials at the hospital who say that Garvey's son was not collected by an ambulance from the scene of the accident. On the issue of personal effects, officials say those are handed over to police. And when the police have no need to keep them, the hospital must get rid of them. In this case, they note that soiled clothing is biohazardous material that must be discarded. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.